had a wonderful time just perusing the yarn, chatting with each other, and talking about different patterns, and chatting with the owners of the store. And Kim from Knit Together with Kim and Jono was also there. I also saw two ladies from the Knitting Posse who was there. I saw Michael from Piece for Peace, and Kevin and Ray were there as well from Needles at the Ready. So it was so wonderful to see them and to catch up with them in person, because I've gone to events where I've been able to talk with them one on one, so I feel like I know them fairly well. So it felt really incredible just to be in their presence and to shop with them and talk with them about our knitting projects, and also gush about all the beautiful yarn that Pick Up Every Stitch had. And then that next day we went to Indie Untangle, which was my first time, which is where I got this sweatshirt because I wanted to go see the Black Pearl Magic. I have a hard time getting her products online because they sell out instantly because she makes just such beautiful bags and other little accessories you need or want for your knitting and crochet life. And so it was so much fun being there. I loved the energy and the positivity. Got a chance to see Tony Lipsy again and her mom. Also got a chance to see some other YouTube knitwear people. So it was great. It was super amazing. And Saturday, it was probably one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen at an event before, other than like one of the professional football games I've gone to. I've been to games before where it's huge and like you're bumper to bumper with people, and then you're shoulder to shoulder with people. And that's exactly what Saturday was like. I swear to you, it was just like a running stream of people walking to and from different locations in the barns. And so for me, it felt a little overwhelming being there on Saturday because I don't really do large crowds. The older I get, the more uncomfortable I get with large crowds. And so at first it was a little challenging, but over the course of time, I did, calm down and enjoy the atmosphere, so to speak. And I really enjoyed the moment of sitting on a hill and then taking picture on a hill with the whole gang, those who knit the pattern by Andrea Murray. She did the frame cowl and sweater last year, and it was just so much fun making that pattern and then just to share that joy with folks too. So I was really grateful for that experience. And Sunday we just decided to go back home because various families members needed us, and we just had our fill. We were good. It was good. So we're just ready to come back. And so we were hoping to replicate that experience this year. Our goal this year is to once again to go on Thursday to Pick Up Every Stitch, have a little lunch in Mount Kisco, and then take the drive from Mount Kisco to our Airbnb. We decided to stay at the same place that we did last year. We just had a really lovely experience, and it didn't feel like too out of the place, and it was right there, 30 minutes to Rhineback, even with traffic. So definitely was a prime location for us, and we're really happy about that. So we're gonna stay there, and then on Friday we're gonna go to a woolen affair, where we get a chance to do some viewing of some yarn, some sampling of some yarn, and hopefully have some cider. Because I remember when I went to the woolen affair my first year going to Rhineback, the farm food and drinks were just outstanding, and I'm hoping for that same experience. And hopefully while they're either on Thursday night or Friday night, we're hoping to do a paint and sip. I went to a paint and sip over the summer and had such a great time, and wanted to do the same thing. Whether we're sipping on tea, which most likely will end up happening, or having an adult beverage, whatever it is, we're really excited about that. And then on Saturday, obviously, we're going to go to Rhineback just to see all the folks and get some of those Brussels sprouts, and also just to sample all the things. For myself this year, in terms of purchasing, I really don't want or need any yarn. I would like to get some yarn from Pick Up Every Stitch because I want to support one of my favorite local yarn stores. So I will be buying, I have budgeted yarn money to buy from their store, and just to see if I can get something new and that's not available to me at home. That's what I usually do when I'm at Pick Up Every Stitch. But at Rhineback, I really am not looking for any yarn per se. I'm hoping to actually get my first electric spinning wheel. I have been bitten by the spinning bug. My drop spindle and I are pretty cool, but I'm ready to try out other forms of spinning. I've already had an opportunity to learn how to spin on a wheel, which was really great. And I would like to actually get a wooden wheel, there's a word. So I'm hoping to do that too. So while at Rhineback, I'm hoping to not only view and sample different versions of spinning, but also purchase some wool. So I'm really excited about that too. So in addition to getting some wool and hopefully a new spinning mechanism. I just want to see the people, see all the beautiful sweaters that folks made for Andrea Mary's pattern or other patterns as well. I know her Ooey Gooey sweater was probably a big hit. I found it to be highly engaging. I made two of them. Like that's how much fun and how easy it was. So if you're, again, I know I said this before, I'll say it again. If you are looking for your very first colorwork sweater and you're just on the fence about what sweater and diving in, because that's what it is, it's just like diving into it, I highly recommend the Ooey Gooey sweater because it is perfect for an adventurous beginner. The directions are clear, the chart is simplistic, and if you make a mistake, you can easily catch it. It's not going to be one of those where you're just like, I don't know where I messed up, and now you got to frog and start all over again, or I don't know where I left off, because that happens to me sometimes when I'm doing colorwork sweaters. That's what happened with the Instant Crush. I couldn't remember where I left off, and now I have to frog what little work I did in order to get back into the group of it, which I do plan on doing. So, anywho, I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I really enjoyed myself last year, and I'm hoping to do the same. And then Sunday we'll come home. But before I can enjoy and experience all that, I actually need to pack. And so the first thing I did was go get my nails done. My nails were looking a little rough, and so I treated myself this morning to getting my nails done. So this color gray is actually the same color as my sweater. Let me go grab it. Where are you? So here is my 2025 Rhineback sweater. I shared it on the channel. I tried it on. It fits very nicely. The only thing I have left to do is to weave in my ends, and I don't feel like doing it. I don't know why. It's been sitting. This sweater has been done for 2 weeks, and there's no reason. There's been time. There's been no injuries. There's been nothing to prevent me from doing it, but for whatever reason, I haven't done it. So I don't know. I've been making up excuses, but what I love so much about this sweater is how well my nails blend into it. And that way when Rhineback is over and I'm like having, oh, I wish I was there again, I can just look at my nails and reminisce about how much fun I had. So really excited. Oh my God, that wool wash smells so good. I'm really excited to go. The wool wash I use is actually from Sorella. She has some of the best wool wash. So if you're looking for a wool wash that is gentle on your fibers and that has a beautiful lasting scent that you don't have to like rinse out and do all the soapy stuff, this is definitely the one to that is definitely one to buy. But continuing on, so circling back to what I was saying, I knew I wouldn't have time to get my nails and my toes done when I get back from Rhineback. When I get back from Rhineback, we are off and running. We have to get ready for the holiday season, coupled with the fact that my son is in the thick of things for soccer, and then it's busy at my job. I have events I need to plan for. I have a speaking engagement I need to get ready for next month. So I have so much on my plate when I get back. So I am so happy to be going on this trip because this is my last weekend of freedom, so to speak, where I can sit back and relax. So in addition to getting my nails done and my toes, I'm going to get my braids redone as well. Typically I do my braids myself, but I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can find someone to do my braids for me. And so I found this woman. We'll see how it goes, and I'll give her the opportunity to do my braids. And if I don't like it, then it's my fault. So I have all like my, I guess my exterior done, my hair. I'll have my hair done. I'll have my toes done, and I have my toes done. I have my nails done. But I need to figure out what to pack, and that's where we're coming through. So with that said, the first thing you have to do when you're packing, here, let me bring you with me. The lighting, you're in my room. So the first thing you have to do when you are getting ready for Rhineback is the first very thing you need to do. I know I've said it 4 times, is look at the weather. Don't pack your clothes, don't pack your sweaters, don't pack your projects. Look at the weather just to see what the weather is going to be like when you get to Rhineback. Because I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I set this up properly. Because one of the things I found my first year is that the first time I ever traveled as a young adult, I did not properly check the weather, and I remember feeling uncomfortable in the outfits that I had bought with me because I didn't look at the weather. And I don't want any of you to have that problem. So when you're getting ready to go on Rhineback, if you have a weather app or if you have it on your computer or whatnot, check the weather just to see. So I've checked the weather. And I saw that it's going to be in the high 50s, low 60s, pretty much the entire time we're going to be in that part of New York. So I'm planning for that. So in addition to wearing that sweater, I'm going to obviously wear it during the big picture. I'm most likely going to wear a t-shirt underneath so that I can take it off, and I might just either tie it around my shoulders or just not wear it. So one of the t-shirts I'm most likely going to wear is this one of my favorite. It's one of my only t-shirts that survived so far of my knitting. So knitting is new yoga. So I'm most likely going to wear this on Saturday underneath my Rhineback sweater, so that way I can be nice and cozy and comfortable. In addition to checking the weather and knowing the outfit that you want to wear on the big event, you got to pack the right projects. And so I have been knitting like crazy. My mojo is like in full swing, and I'm all for it. However, my thumb has been like, girl, you need to slow your roll. So I'm trying to compromise with my body in order to make sure I can engage in one of my favorite activities known to man. And so for me, whenever I'm picking a project to bring with me to New York, the first thing I like to do is to think about, what do I have time to do? Because often when, especially myself, I can't speak for everyone, but I know when I travel, I tend to bring too many projects that I had no time to work on. And so there are two projects that I am trying to decide between about bringing. The first one is the Arctic Light sweater. I'll show you what this looked like. The Arctic Light sweater, whew, we've had a journey. I've been talking about doing this sweater for years, and for whatever reason, there's been different things that have come up that's prevented me from doing this sweater. I either changed my mind about the yarn. So for example, I bought this sweater quantity of Sanders yarn in the color white. It was beautiful, had all the mohair and the yarn ready to go, right? Ready to do this. Then I changed my mind. Why? I don't know. I sincerely don't know, but you know what? You change your mind, and that's that. Then I went and found that I love knitting for Olive, and I bought a sweater quantity of their cotton merino with the intention of making this sweater. I did not. I cast on. I even got to the point where I was placing my stitch markers, and for whatever reason, just couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, you got this, Rachel. You're going to pick the right yarn. Then I'm going through my stash, looking at everything, and I find Blue Sky Fiber yarn that I had planned to make another Andrea Mary pattern with. I was like, oh, I'll use this for the Arctic Light. I didn't do it. So now I'm determined to do it. So I went to Rhineback last year, or Pick Up Every Stitch, I should say, last year. And I bought this, Camilla Rose, I believe is the name of the company. I bought this yarn. It was an exclusive colorway to the store. Fell in love with it. It's perfect. It has a little peach, grayish undertone to it. Pink, I should say, not really peach, more of a pink. And there's a little bit of a hint of gray to it as well. Beautiful yarn, super soft, squishy, has alpaca in it, definitely merino. And as I was coming home, I remembered that the pattern also calls for, because I was buying it with the thought of, one of the thoughts of making the Brady sweater or this sweater. But the pattern for the Arctic Light calls for mohair, and I love mohair. And I remembered I have Knitting for Olive ballerina pink mohair at home. I have a sweater quantity of this, and it's just been sitting in my collection. So I'm like, this is a perfect time. So these two items are going to be paired together, and I cannot wait to start this sweater. And I think Rhineback travels is the perfect time because I don't have any distractions. My kids aren't going to be there to say, mommy, mommy, mommy. And my husband will be there to say, I can't find my keys. I can't find my wallet. So it would just be me and my hyper-focused self. In addition to potentially casting on the Arctic Light, which is a pattern by Veronica Lindbergh. You see it? Isn't it gorgeous? If you haven't seen it, see it. Another pattern I'm considering are a pair of mittens. So as you know, I really have been enjoying knitting socks, and the last pair of socks I made were so engaging, and I loved every second of it. So I'm like, you know what? I want to put some of this sock mojo into my mittens, because I've made the penny gloves 3 times, and I love that, and I have so much fun. But I want to make a pair of mittens. I see them and I want them. So here are the mittens I'm hoping to cast on. This pattern is free on Ravelry. This was published by a knitwear designer that decided to make all her patterns for free. They are really well rated, and I had a chance to peruse through it, and it looks like it's pretty clear. So I'm going to give it's my first time knitting anything of hers, and I thought a pair of mittens is a perfect step into the zone, so to speak, of her way of explaining things. Because I make a lot of Veronica Lindbergh, Andrea Mowry, and Petite Knit. Those are like their three go-to knitwear designers. Occasionally, I'll do a Kadri, and occasionally, I'll do my favorite knitwear. But this year I'm really am trying to, well, I shouldn't just say this year, moving forward, I really want to incorporate other knitwear designers as well, just to learn different techniques as well as style of writing. Like Zane Knits, I did a test knit for her, and I've really enjoyed her style of writing, although it wasn't as super clear to me because I feel novice in pattern reading from time to time. It still wasn't engaging knit. But anyway, I digress. So, in addition to those two projects, I am planning on bringing with me because I would like to at least start them. I want to start them and get them to a point where the muscle memory starts to build. So when I get home, I know exactly what to do and how to do it. And the most important thing, taking good notes. I also want to work on another pattern by Petite Knit. This was a random pattern that I found on Ravelry. I still to this day don't know why I was searching for it, how it popped up in my queue. It could have been, one of those like hot patterns right now, what's trending right now. So, anywho, I went ahead and bought the pattern because it was perfect for what I want to do. You see it? This is a petite knit, and the name of the pattern is right there, our sweater. Now, I shared with this before, so I'm going to try to say this as quick and concise as possible. A couple of months ago, maybe even a year now, I went on to Ravelry, wanting to make more shawls, found a pattern by Lisa Ross called the Coming Together Shawl. Purchased the pattern, realized there was a lot of great knitting techniques in the pattern, and I didn't quite have the confidence yet in order to cast on, in order to have the right yarn that was really calling to me. Fast forward to like 2 months ago, I had finished reading the Susan Collins book, Sunrise in the Reaping, or On the Reaping, excuse me. Really enjoyed the book, but I love the cover. The cover is what like sold me, if I'm being honest with you. So because I love the cover so much, and those are my colors, like all of these are right up my alley, right? So I reached out to Kevin from Needles at the Ready because I'd already purchased two skeins of his purple yarn, Eggplant, I believe is the exact name of the colorway. And I had asked if it was possible for him to help me pick out additional yarns in his collection that would reflect the colors of the cover. And he took it one step further by dyeing a batch of yarn for me, so that way I can have it. So when I got the yarn, I was like, I don't know if I could use this for the shawl. I feel like I need to use it for something bigger than that. But you know what? That was the whole purpose of it. So I started the shawl, messed up, started over again, messed up, started again, messed up a third time. And when I messed up the third time, I'm like, I don't think I'm at a point where I can really engage in this because I'm not following the directions and I'm not creating the fabric that needs in order to be successful with this pattern. So I went ahead and decided that I wanted to try something a little different. And so I purchased that pattern, the Ara sweater, and decided to make the sweater. And this is what it looks like so far. Look at it. Here, so I'm going to hold up the book. See? Oh, genius, right? I know. It is. So, a couple of things. Let me calm myself. A couple of things. The pattern, so clear, so dope, so versatile that you can make it stripe or you can make it non-stripe. You can do 3 colors. You can just do 2 colors. You can even just do a solid color. It is an easy to modify pattern. You can definitely, you know how you're looking for like that sweater recipe where you can reuse the structure multiple times and for different patterns. This is that for you. It has like a saddle shoulder construction, even though it was raglan, because of the way you do increasing and the way that you don't engage with these stitches in the same capacity with everything else. I'm not explaining it as well as I should. I'm sorry, but I can honestly say loving it. And so it's been such an addictive pattern where initially I was just like, I'm just going to cast on just to see if I like the stripe pattern I picked. And I couldn't stop and I kept going and I kept going, which is why we're here. And so I made myself stop and I'm like, you know what, let me do the collar because I want to see, do I really like what I'm putting together? Because I didn't want to get too far with the stripes and realize I wanted to do a different sequence. As the pattern is so engaging and yarn is perfection that it is one of those I would frog it and come back and knit it all over again. Like that's how much I've enjoyed it. So anywho, I'm at a part where I'm doing the collar and it's a folded over collar. And because collars can be a little itchy sometimes around my neck, I decided to hold the yarn double like I had with the rest of the fabric. And then when it gets to the part where I'm folding over, I'm holding it single strand. So that way it won't, I'm hoping it won't be as tight or uncomfortable around my neck. We'll see if that was a good idea or not. If it wasn't, I can always frog it and try again. For whatever reason with this pattern, I don't mind the mistakes and going back and trying again. It's that enjoyable. But this is what I have so far, and I'm really highly enjoying it, and it's coming with me to Rhineback. My hope is that when we're sitting together, especially if we do our outdoor fire like we did last year, that I can just have this with me while we're sitting in front of the fire enjoying ourselves. So that is coming with me. And the final project that is going to make its way with me to Rhineback is most likely the zipper sweater. The zipper sweater is another pattern, long-term pattern that's been sitting in my collection. I've been wanting to cast on for a really long time. I love wearing those pullovers where you have a zipper, whatnot. Those are definitely up my alley. And the fact that I can knit one is spot on. So the zipper sweater came out, and then obviously Petite Knit has different versions of the zipper sweater. And then she came out with the Dagmar sweater, and then a Dagmar cardigan, and I think she even has a vest as well. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I feel like I've seen some version of it wears a vest, whether someone modified it on their own or if it was intentional. But this is my second goal. So I figured before I make this, I need to actually learn how to do an actual zipper sweater. And once again, Petite Knit knocked it out the park. This pattern has been so, how can I say this? Helpful in me understanding the importance of reading directions, but also just directions are so clear that I genuinely had just only meant to cast on the collar because there was a lot of ribbing. It's almost like 8 inches of ribbing that you have to do. And so I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do all that. And I just like, you know what? I'll just do the ribbing. And I got to doing the ribbing. I pulled one of my stitches. I hate when it happens. So got to doing the ribbing and couldn't stop. So did the ribbing, ended up doing the folded over collar part, really got engaged. And I was like, I'll just do the German short rows really quick. I accidentally did all the German short rows. So I finished all those. And now I'm just doing the increasing before I join together in a round. And for me, I decided to pick the men's version because my hope is also to do one for my husband and our sons as well. That's my goal. That was the rationale I told myself. Because with the women's version, from what I can tell, the only major difference is obviously with the shoulder construction and the ribbing in itself. So for the women's rib, it's a twisted rib, and for the male, it's just standard. And so part of me wishes I did do the twisted ribbing in this yarn because I think the definition of it would have been outstanding. But it's all good. I'm loving it. This was another unexpected cast on. I'm using Barocco's natural alpaca, and it is ridiculously soft and very addictive. And it's just that yarn that you want to touch and you want to knit with, and it's very squishy right now. And I'm glad I'm using the zipper sweater men's pattern because it allows me to modify the size. I keep touching it because it's that squishy. So it's coming with me as well. And that is it. So now that I know what projects I'm going to pick and I know what outfits I'm going to wear, and I also know what activities we're going to do, I feel like I'm all set and ready to go for Rhineback, and I hope you are as well. However, if you're unable to come to Rhineback, please don't worry. There are so many YouTube channels that are out there that are knitting friendly or crochet friendly that really talk about the amazing different experiences that one can have at Rhineback. And I know personally speaking that every year I've gone to Rhineback, I have enjoyed it. But the years I didn't go, when I just joined the knitting community, I still had a great time, or felt like I was there. I was immersed there by watching podcast channels such as from Knitting Natty. She did a really great job of highlighting her experience as well as Nora from Nora Knits. She did a really good job of highlighting her experience. So there will be definitely some videos produced and shared on YouTube that will tell you more about the experience or share with you where you don't feel left out. I just heard about, and when I heard, I mean, I just saw on Ravelry because who doesn't check Ravelry every morning? That's literally the first thing I open when I wake up in the morning. But there is this knit along that this woman is doing that's called No Rhineback, No Problem 5. It's a pattern by Sweater Freak. There's the word. And it goes live, looks like it's going live, on October 17th. So if you are someone who, there it is, you are like, oh, I wish I was at Rhineback, don't worry, you won't have to have too much FOMO because there is a fun knitting pattern in a development that you can work on that will also give you that same energy as well. Thank you so much for staying with me and packing with me as I get myself ready from Rhineback. I am so excited about going, and I can't wait to share with you my goodies that I was able to get, and also to get some inspiration about what patterns I'm going to cast on. Again, the share, my goal is not to go crazy with buying yarn. I feel like I have so much in my collection that I haven't really used, and it's not fair to that beautiful skein of yarn that's like saying like, come on man, you love me, you don't give me no love. So I'm trying to give it some love, and my hope is that I can find the perfect spinner so that way I can make my own yarn and hopefully one day knit a garment or an accessory using my own hand spun yarn. That's the dream, right? Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode of Friday Night Knits.